Hey, my name is Sam Rockwell. I am founder and president of Rocoza, based out of Grinnell, Iowa. Rocoza is a DJI Ag drone dealer. Give you a little bit of background for people that don't know who we are. I started flying drones in 2014, which would be the Phantom 2, doing crop scouting, real estate, so on and so forth. Did that for several years. In 2019, we had heard that DJI was coming out with their first over 55-pound drone, which would be the Agras T50. Up to that point, they were only producing the MG series, MG1S, MG1P, which was a 2-gallon drone. We actually started with that 2-gallon drone and then moved into the T16, then T20, T30, T40, and so on. Our first 2 years, we did nothing but custom application. We were not selling drones of any sort. We were just doing custom work. And then when we came into the T30s, when we started selling drones. So I want to clarify some things that were said in a webinar last week about the T50s. Biggest issue, are the T50s illegal to import in the United States? The answer to that is no, they are not. So I want to go back to give you a little bit of background of where these issues started. It started all the way back in 2018, which would have started with the Department of Defense banning the use of drones, any DJI drones for Department of Defense, military, so on and so forth. That only included, it was not anything that was going to get the general population. It's just for those particular contracts. In 2022, the Department of Defense blacklisted DJI drones. Again, that was eliminating the use of any DJI drone for military contracts. Funny part is, if you look at the Department of Defense, Secret Service, FBI, they actually use DJI drones up to today, so make of that what you will. But I want to go over some things that were said in that webinar about people that were bringing in T50s. Are T50s banned? No, they're not. So we'll go back a little bit to the CCP Act. Basically, that was the Countering Drone Act, Countering Chinese Drone Act that they've been trying to get through for a couple of years. It did make it through the House last year, did not go any further. The NDAA, which is the National Defense Authorization Act of 2025, was passed with no ban on DJI drones. Now, there was something in there that is going to require some agency of the United States government to look at DJI drones to determine if they are a national security threat. And that needs to be done by December of 2025. If nobody takes that up, then the FCC will not be issuing any new licenses for DJI drones going forward. It should not affect anything that's flying currently unless they make a decision to go retroactive, but we don't see that happening as of right now. Honestly, we have no idea how that's going to go going forward, so we're just going to have to keep an eye on it and see where it goes. The reason for some issues of getting drones through customs, that all has to do with UFLPA, that is the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act that was signed into law in December of 2021. Basically, that is any company or entity from China that uses forced labor to manufacture their parts, products, so on and so forth, are not legal to have their parts imported into the United States. There are also entities that U.S. companies cannot export items to, computer chips and microchips and so on and so forth. That entity list does not include DJI. DJI is not on the entity list of manufacturers that cannot bring their products into the U.S. So this is where things get a little, now is it problematic? Definitely. Getting drones in can be problematic, whether it's the Agras series. We've also had some issues getting some of the Enterprise series in. So it's going to be problematic going forward, but right now we are in a pretty good position of having T50s. As you can see, I've got a bunch behind me, and we have more T50s coming in. So we're in a pretty good position to continue that for the foreseeable future. We don't know where this is all going to lead, and whether or not it's going to affect any other Chinese companies, whether it's XAG or anybody else. Again, this is all going to be, it's all going to be kind of new territory for us, but we will continue to supply T50s to anyone that is looking for one. So if you're looking for a T50, reach out. I would, again, try to do that as early as you can on making that decision for a couple of reasons. One, once we're out of drones, there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to get any more in. And two, it does appear that we may be running into some fairly significant tariffs in February, which is going to increase the price of these drones, any drones that are coming in after that fact. So again, we have T50s in stock. We'd be more than happy to help you out. As you can see behind me, this is our new building that we built. And we are a service center as well, repair center. We do all of our own tech. We hold all of our own parts. We actually have parts for T30s, T40s, T50s here in inventory. And we have plenty of parts for all of those drones, except for the T30. T30 are going to be a little more difficult to get parts for, but we have quite a few parts for those as well. So if we can do anything for you to help you out, get a T50 into your hands before the tariffs hit, or any other issues come up where we are not able to get some in, just reach out to us and let us know. Thanks.